What's going on, Apes the Ape Army? My name is Tyler and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to go over all of the data and information that you need to know revolving around AMC stock. And as we do know, there's a lot of fraud, manipulation, and corruption that is going on with AMC. I just made a video about that, so go ahead and check that out if you guys are unaware of the situation that is going on. But like I said, we're just going to go over the data, the technical analysis, and the fact that the institutional and hedge funds are buying the dip on AMC. They are very bullish. That is what we're seeing reflected in the Fintel data. So in short, I think we're going through a short attack, as well as a lot of fraud, manipulation, and corruption. A lot of these payment for order flows, brokers, and people who buy these, I'm not going to say any names, you guys already know what I'm getting at. They are more than likely holding on to our buy orders and flooding the markets with the sell orders, letting the sell orders out when we do crater. Ultimately, that is what I think is going on, but I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial planner or your dad, so ultimately come to your own conclusions. But with that being said, drop the like on the video, comment down below, let me know what you think is a fundamental valuation of AMC, especially after this last earnings, because I do think personally it's in between $25 and $30 per share, so I don't think we have too much downside here. But let me know that information down below in the comment section. Consider subscribing to the channel and turning on that notification bell. So first things first, guys, just a brief look at the technicals. I pretty much talk about this in every video, but we did come under that critical support level, and which was our resistance level for quite a while at $33 per share. Nothing to be too concerned about. We did close and are currently at $32 flat, so we could bounce right up above this $33 level coming tomorrow. So nothing I'm too concerned about as long as we don't break under $30. All does look pretty good here. And keep in mind, earnings could take a while for some of that fraudulent activities to really stop happening, to see that short attack actually start to stop, and see a lot of hedge funds and institutions, even regular people, start to trade the stock back up, as well as algorithmic trading programs, because that is very important. Algorithmic trading programs, they really dictate the prices and they press up the bids or lower the asks. So that is very important. Definitely read up on that if you guys are unaware of what the trading algorithms really play as a role in the stock market. But like I said, as far as the technicals, guys, we can't even talk about a breakout. Obviously, we went down about 6% for the day, so we're not even going to go there. But if we do go back up to about $40, that is where we will start talking about a potential breakout. I think at the very least, you're looking at about $30 on the low end. At the best case scenario, obviously, you have to watch for that $40 level. But what I'm watching in between 40 and now is really this 50-day moving average, which is $34.86. If we can break above that and close over that, that's the next level until $40. After that, like I always say, the 200-day moving average is $44.80. That will be the next level to watch. As far as the volume for today, we actually did have a considerable increase in volume from yesterday, only at 77 million for volume, and then today at 115 million for volume. So I think there's a lot of sell orders being flooded into the markets by these payment for order flow brokers and market makers. Definitely something to keep on your radar. I personally think we're gonna see a bounce tomorrow, but I could be wrong on that. We're seeing AMC is actually up 0.79% currently in after hours, so definitely it could be worse, but it's not a terrible situation where we are currently in. As far as the Ortex data, guys, keep in mind, take this information with a grain of salt. They are indicating we have 15.97% short interest. If these numbers are correct, that is still a very large amount, not even considering the naked short positions, synthetic short positions, and the legal short positions. Guys, the short interest, if I were to estimate, I will say this again, is in between 40 and 80%. 40% obviously on the low end, 80% obviously on the higher end, but it could be even higher than that. As far as the return shares and borrowed shares, I don't even like to look at this anymore, because this is really coming off of the free flow on loan, which are shares that are held in people's brokerage accounts, hedge funds, institutions that have taken these shares out on loan but have not actually sold them short yet. So some of this could be shorts covering, or it could simply be shares that are being returned from the free flow on loan, which is 20.2%, so considerably higher than this almost 16% short interest that we are seeing. As far as the share utilization, guys, we're getting close to this forced recall level. Obviously, it has come down a little bit, which it probably should have. Now at 93.55%, still a very hard stock to borrow. We are seeing this cost to borrow amount actually going up a little bit. 7 days ago at 1.33%, now currently at almost 1.4%. So still doesn't cost too much to borrow, but once we do see that price action come back into the stock and the share utilization going up, that's where you'll see the cost to borrow go up and the potential for forced recalls and forced share liquidations. So definitely something to keep your eyes on. As far as the fraud, manipulation, and corruption, what is going on with earnings and why I do think AMC is actually going down today. Like I said, a short attack is definitely going on. They are holding on to our buy orders. They're not letting them out into the markets. They're letting our sell orders out into the markets because obviously earnings were great. Nobody could have asked for anything better, guys. If you just look up AMC news like I just did, you see AMC CEO says theater chain is going on offense with $2 billion in liquidity. Keep in mind, this is more liquidity than they have had in their 101 years of business as a theater chain. So definitely let me know what the fundamental valuation is that you personally think off of your calculations. I will say this again, mine is in between $25 and $30 per share. And as we know in this marketplace, you're not getting any deals on any stocks. Everything is trading at a premium. So that is the simple reason why I don't think you're really going down to that $30 price, just because the fundamental valuation can be seen as so high right now. So liquidity is at an all-time high, definitely really good. AMC beat revenue by about $100 million, which is not a small amount. AMC reaches deal with Warner Bros. For 45 days theatrical exclusivity in 2022. Huge news right there. What I even think is even better news is AMC says it will accept Bitcoin as payment for movie tickets by year end. They also did say they are looking into other alternatives when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And if they do accept Bitcoin and just hold that on their balance sheet, that will grow in value over time as well. So there is really no reason for AMC to be falling right now. It just doesn't make any mathematical sense. There's a lot of great things that came out of earnings, and this is probably arguably the best earnings they have ever had in their whole existence as a company. Also, the highly anticipated and highly welcomed GameStop and AMC merger was actually, or not merger, but partnership was actually talked about. So GameStop went up, but AMC went down. Makes zero sense, guys. I would not be too concerned at all. All we could do is simply buy the dip. But they also did say they're now they're going to accept by year end Apple Pay and Google Pay for tickets and concessions paid online. So definitely a good thing. Now let's get into this Fintel data, guys. Let's refresh the page. We did get a lot of these 13F filings that did come out over the past 2 days, but a lot of these did come out today, and you can see an overwhelmingly high majority of all of these lines are green and white, which is bullish. White and gray are positions that have stayed the same. They have not bought, they have not sold. The red is obviously positions that have 100% sold out. The green are brand new positions. So you're obviously seeing a lot of bullish activity, especially over the past couple of days, guys. We did go through a little red spurt right here, but the overall sentiment, guys, is very bullish. Hedge funds continue to hold on to their positions, which is bullish right there, but they also continue to initiate new positions. Most of these are at about $33 per share. You see a high concentration at about $33 per share. This firm right here, even at $56.68, and they have held on to their whole entire position as well. So definitely very bullish when it does come to the filings of these 13 Fs with the hedge funds and institutions. So definitely a huge thing right there. Now let's get into the stock O tracker data as well. I don't even have this pulled up, but we will pull this up really quick. Only takes about 2 seconds, and we are seeing, guys, expiring this Friday, we're seeing out the money calls at 159,000, in the money calls at 12,426, and this is what is really killing the AMC short squeeze, is all of this liquidity going to options that they are all a majority of these are expiring worthless by the end of the week. We are killing ourselves when it comes to this. If you want to get an action or get a piece of the action in AMC, you're better off buying the shares. That's not financial advice. That is simply what I am doing. I was going to make a big options trade on earnings, but it simply was not worth it in hindsight. When I would have looked back on this, should have just bought the shares, and that is exactly what I did instead, guys. So I know a lot of you guys will probably welcome hearing that, but The puts, we have a significantly larger amount of puts, about 2 times more puts that are in the money. So you could see a lot of shorting activity going on to hedge some of these puts, which is definitely not a great thing. In the money puts at 34,000, out the money puts at 89,000. But next week is where it's going to get very interesting, because we're seeing a pretty much neutral effect between calls and puts. We're seeing about 285,000 calls that are in the money and out the money. That is a combined number. As well as puts, we are seeing about 270,000 that are in the money and out the money, also a combined number. So we have the potential to go either way here, guys, but we're seeing more in the money puts. Obviously 60,657 in the money puts that obviously hedge funds, institutions, market makers, whoever is on the back end of these puts have to go out and short stock into the open market. And believe me, they're shorting it into the open market, not through dark pools like they're doing with our buy activities. So you're seeing quite a bit of shorting on the put side, as well as in the money calls. You're only seeing 27,000. So you're seeing double the amount of puts that are in the money as far as out the money, or compared to in the money calls for next week. So next week's going to be very interesting. You have a big potential to go either way on this, but like I said, it comes down to the fundamental valuation. I would say $25 to $30. So I think that's your worst case scenario, about $25. If we do see this market downtrend or whatever the case happens with AMC, $25 on the low end, $30 is more reasonable in my opinion, guys. So that is pretty much all I do have for you. I do think we're going to see a significant bounce. Let's take a look at what AMC is at right now in after hours. Let's refresh the page. Up 1.07%. So this might have been a bit of an overreaction. Some of this shorting maybe is starting to stop here in after hours. I know we do have a lack of liquidity in after hours, but nevertheless, I think we will see that bounce coming tomorrow. So drop that like on the video, comment down below, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on that notification bell, guys. We went through a lot of information, but the overall sentiment here still does look very bullish. Obviously, not one bearish thing came out on earnings. Everything was good. The Fintel data is very good. The technicals don't look good or bad per se. We're kind of still at this range, about $30 to $33, so nothing too crazy there. Obviously, the short interest is still very elevated, with a lot of naked shorts and synthetic short positions that will all have to unwind themselves in due time. So I'm not concerned whatsoever. I think it's a great time personally to be buying the dip. Now, with all that information out of the way, if you guys want to join a non-payment for order flow broker, check out the link down below for public. Get up to $70 in your choice free stock in about 3 minutes time, with no need to link a bank account or deposit a single dollar. So definitely check that out. Also, if you guys want to be part of the buy and sell alerts, we are hitting monsters trades over there, guys. Check that out, link down below in the description. It literally pays for itself. But that is all for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.